Welcome back to our channel. In the year 1963, researchers exploring the Hubbard Brook Experimental Forest in New Hampshire made a startling revelation. Their latest rainfall samples showed an alarming acidity nearly 100 times higher than usual. At such levels, continuous acid rain downpours posed a severe threat to the region's marine and arboreal ecosystems, risking devastation within a few decades. Urgently sharing their findings with fellow researchers, they were driven by two fundamental questions. What was the cause of this deadly rainfall? And how could they put an end to it? Rain is never just water. Every drop carries numerous chemicals and particles from the environment. Some substances, such as carbon dioxide, cause even normal rainfall to become slightly acidic. This, however, looks small in comparison to the powerful acids formed when water reacts with nitrogen or sulfur dioxide. On the pH scale, which measures acidity, each full number below is 10 times more acidic than the one above it. Normal rain has a pH of about 5.4, but rain that has interacted with these gases can have a pH as low as 3.7. Nitrogen and sulfur dioxide oxides can occur naturally as brief byproducts of volcanic eruptions or lightning strikes. However, power plants, refineries, and vehicles that rely on fossil fuels consistently release substantial quantities of these hazardous gases into the air. Carried by the wind, these dangerous gases spread over hundreds of kilometers from their sources, acting like roaming clouds of destruction. Their presence dramatically increases the acidity of local rainfall, resulting in acid rain, acid snow, and acid fog. These phenomena acidify lakes and streams, damage crops and forests, and hinder soil productivity. Over time, acid rain can even corrode human structures constructed from stone or metal. By the 1970s, scientists in North America and Europe recognized acid rain as a major environmental threat. However, despite clear evidence linking the problem to air pollution, companies denied responsibility and cast doubt on the research. In the United States, corporations lobbied against pollution regulations and convinced politicians that such policies would escalate energy costs and threaten jobs. These obstacles delayed government action, leading to further research demands on the issue. But after a decade of mounting concern, Congress finally took action. Since a significant portion of sulfur dioxide emissions came from power plants, the government set limits on the total annual emissions allowed for the electric power sector. These permitted emissions were then divided into fixed allowances, allocated to each power plant. Each plant had the option to emit as much sulfur dioxide as allowed, or reduce their emissions and sell their unused allowances to other power plants. This system, known as cap and trade, granted power plants economic flexibility to keep costs low while strictly controlling pollution. Many critics referred to these allowances as licenses to pollute, accusing the government of selling clean air. However, because the quota was expected to decline 5 years into the program, every utility company had a responsibility to reduce emissions in the long run. Some plants integrated desulfurizing scrubbers into their smokestacks, or switched to low-sulfur coal and natural gas. Moreover, relatively low-cost technologies helped decrease nitrogen oxide emissions. These advancements allowed the power sector to grow while effectively managing pollution. By 1985, Canada and the European Union had implemented their solutions, and international treaties aimed at reducing air pollution began to circulate worldwide. Today, this science-driven economic policy has largely eradicated acid rain in the United States and Canada. While some ecosystems still require time to recover, scientists have accelerated the restoration of other areas by reintroducing essential organisms that were previously wiped out by acid rain. Some countries, like Russia, India, and China, still heavily rely on high-sulfur coal and continue to grapple with environmental consequences. However, the relatively rapid transition of acid rain from a significant threat to a minor issue is rightly celebrated as a victory for environmental protection policies. Although cap and trade cannot solve every environmental problem, by employing scientific consensus to guide policy, adopting efficient technologies, and being willing to impose reasonable costs for pollution, countries can effectively halt the progression of a destructive storm before it's too late. Thanks for watching. Follow or subscribe to support our work.